History of my oldest ancestors of whom I am very proud descend. July 15, 1015, dies, in Beresix, Saint Vladimir I, the Great, Grand Duke of Kiev, Prince of Kiev and Novgorod, my 33rd grandfather, 6 times my grandfather, grandson of Saint Olga of Kiev, considered saint by the Orthodox and Catholic churches due to his role in the Christianization of Kievan Rus. Saint Vladimir I was the 9th grandfather of Queen Saint Isabel, wife of Dom Dinis, King of Portugal. Saint Vladimir I, the Great, Grand Duke of Kiev, Prince of Kiev and Novgorod, was born in 958 and died in Beresix, the 15th of July, 1015. He was the son of Sviatoslav I, Grand Duke of Kiev and Malusha Malkovna, paternal grandson of Igor I, the Elder, Grand Duke of Kiev and Saint Olga, Princess of Kiev. Vladimir I, known as the Great, Old East Slavic, Volodymyr Svetoslavi, was Prince of Novgorod, Grand Duke, Prince of Kiev and ruler of Kievan Rus, from 980 to 1015. It is considered a saint by the Orthodox and Catholic churches for his role in the Christianization of Kievan Rus. Saint Vladimir I, the Great was the youngest son of the ruler of Kiev, Sviatoslav Grand Duke, Prince of Kiev, son of Saint Olga of Kiev, and his second wife Malusha Malkovna. There are several traditions about Malusha Malkovna. According to one of them, she was a princess of the Drevlians, imprisoned and enslaved by Saint Olga after avenging the murder of her husband Igor. That's why Saint Olga disapproved of the relationship between her son Sviatoslav and Malusha. According to other traditions, Malusha was the fortune teller at Sviatoslav's court. Even before his death in 972, Sviatoslav divided his empire between his 2 legitimate sons. Yaropolk received the Duchy of Kiev, and Galicia went to Oleg. When Novgorod threatened to revolt against division in 970, both sons refused to suppress the revolt. Sviatoslav then sent Vladimir, accompanied by his uncle, Dobrynya, to Novgorod and handed over the administration of that city to Vladimir. From 972 to 977, a civil war took place in Kievan Rus between Yaropolk and Oleg. After Oleg's defeat, Vladimir fled to the Varchanes in Scandinavia, where he recruited troops to recapture Novgorod and ultimately all of Kievan Rus. Christianization of Kievan Rus. The Primary Chronicle reports that in the year 987, after consulting his nobles, Vladimir I the Great sent emissaries to learn about the religions of the various neighboring nations whose representatives urged him to embrace their respective beliefs. The result is described by columnist Nestor. He reported that Islam was rejected due to the prohibition of alcoholic beverages and pork. Vladimir commented at the time, "Drinking is the joy of everyone in Rus. We cannot exist without this pleasure." Ukrainian sources describe Vladimir consulting Jews and questioning them about their religion, but also rejecting it, saying that the loss of Jerusalem was evidence that they had been abandoned by God. His emissaries also visited pre-schism Latin Rite Christian missionaries and Eastern Rite Christians. Ultimately, Vladimir focused on Eastern Christianity. In the Church of the Germans, their emissaries did not see beauty, but in Constantinople, where the full festive ritual of the Byzantine Church was brought to bear to impress them, they found their ideal. "We no longer knew whether we were in heaven or on earth," they reported, describing a majestic divine liturgy in Hagia Sophia. "Not such beauty, and we don't know how to tell it." Vladimir was impressed by this report from his envoys. In 988, having seized the city of Chersonesos in Crimea, Vladimir courageously negotiated for the hand of the Byzantine Emperor Basil II's sister, Anne of Constantinople, his first marriage. Never before had a Byzantine imperial princess married a barbarian. In short, marrying the 27-year-old princess to a pagan Slav seemed impossible. Vladimir was baptized in Chersonesos, taking the Christian name Basil in honor of his imperial brother-in-law. The sacrament was followed by his marriage to Anne of Constantinople. Returning to Kiev in triumph, Vladimir destroyed the pagan monuments and founded many churches, beginning with the church dedicated to Saint Basil and the Church of Tithes, 989. When he arrived in Kiev, Vladimir converted his people to Christianity, built schools and churches, and protected the clergy. His final years were troubled by rebellions led by the children of his first marriages. In 1014, Vladimir was forced to march against the army of his rebellious son Yaroslav in Novgorod, fell ill on the way, and died in Beresix. Saint Vladimir I, the Great is the patron saint of Catholics in Kievan Rus, Kiev's Rus. His canonical feast day is July 15th. Family and descent. Saint Vladimir I, the Great, Grand Duke of Kiev, Prince of Kiev and Novgorod, was married 4 times. The first marriage to Anne of Constantinople, my 33rd grandmother, 6 times my grandmother, sister of the Byzantine Emperor Basil II, they had. Maria Dobronaga, Princess of Kiev, C.C. Kazimier's first, Polish prince, my 32nd grandparents, 4 times my grandparents. Przemysława Wladimirovna, Princess of Kiev, married Laszlo, Prince of Hungary. Yaroslav I St, the wise Grand Duke of Kiev, married Ingigerd of Sweden, my 32nd grandparents, 5 times my grandparents. Sudislav Pleskowski. Boris, Prince Rostovsky. Gleb, Prince Muromsky. The second marriage with Rogd from Poland, they had. Istyaslav, Prince of Polokij, married, unknown. Vsevolod Vladimirskij. Stanislav Smolensky. Mstislav, Prince of Turakan, married, unknown. Princess Predslava of Kiev, married to, unknown. Unknown, Princess of Kiev, married to Bernard, Count of Haldensleben, Marquis of Nordmark. Third marriage to, unknown, Swabian princess, no offspring. The fourth marriage was to Malfred, and they had. Sviatoslav, Prince Drevljansky, married, unknown.